That's. Oh, yeah, it works.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sammy's and Beer podcast, brought to you live here on this Whiskey Wednesday. We appreciate you all so much for stopping by. We got I don't even have my mic or my.
I was going to bring it up after you finished.
All right. Well, now it's on. I was clicking through a lot of buttons.
You're in it first year, people. He has a tough time with buttons. No big surprise. He's kind of old. Not kind of old. You are really old. Like,
Technically, as my wife pointed out, I am beyond middle age now.
damn.
Middle age apparently now is 38 because the average life expectancy is 76.
Guess you missed the opportunity for a midlife crisis.
I guess. Just have to go to Vegas and get a bunch of hookers and blow and call it a deal.
That sounds good to me.
Some Texas water.
Whiskey ranch water. Never had whiskey.
Oh, whiskey. Oh. Does it make you feel special?
No, I'm concerned because the last time I tried something new, it was the habanero ranch water, and that gave me the spiciest shits I think I've ever had in my life. And you know that's me saying that, so it's pretty fucking spicy.
You do have spicy shits.
Constantly. Consistently.
Constantly. So, we have a fantastic show set up for you here today. We are going to be talking about stuff and things, and it's going to be a great time had by all.
I've got my weird shot again today.
All right. I'm sticking with the basic. I went with a dark beer to drink tonight.
Ooh. That looks gross.
Oh, it's going to be so good. I figured you said you were going super trashy with like some natty ice or something, so I'd go high class.
I thought I was going to go get the natty ice, but I went and got these instead because they were $4 for 4. So.
Oh, that should be a good drink then.
We'll find out. But before then, I do have the dill pickle today instead of the spicy pickle.
Oh, there you go.
Just the dill. It's no big deal.
I will be drinking back to my South Dakota honey corn whiskey.
Oh.
Sold out in Deadwood, South Dakota, made 100% locally with local corn, local honey. If you're ever in Deadwood, I highly recommend getting it. They had a really cool sampler that you could go sit down and do, and the guy knew a ton about their whiskeys, and you paid like $25 and you got a shot glass with it, and he just gave you samples of all their different whiskeys, and he explained, where it was going to burn, how it was going to burn, and the different levels, so you could kind of find what worked well for you with different whiskeys.
I wish I had that job. I think I'd be.
Oh yeah, he was drinking too.
Oh, of course. Be dumb not to.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, I am ready to get this show on the road. Also, have you been to Topgolf yet?
Not exactly that, but we have like something like it here. It's just called Great Shots.
I'm going.
But it's like the exact same fucking thing.
I don't know what to expect. I also don't know how to play golf very well, so.
You just hit golf balls. It's just a driving range.
Just putting balls in holes. Got it.
You don't even have to put it in the hole. You just have to hit it.
Oh.
There's no putting. It's just like a big driving range with multiple levels, and they serve beer and food.
Oh, well, I do love wings. Maybe I'll find.
Who doesn't?
Normies.
Normies don't like wings?
Probably not. Oh, man,
I think you're just making things up now.
My stomach hurts. Okay. I need to drink because I'm super sleepy.
Okay, so go ahead. Nobody's stopping you.
You know what?
Never once have I said, "Hold on, Thomas. We're not going to continue with this. You can't drink."
Maybe
Nobody has ever said that to you.
Plenty of people have said stop.
Nobody on this podcast has said this to you. If anything, it's the opposite and encourage you to drink more.
This shot goes out to a personal hero of mine.
Oh, that's nice of you.
He's given me plenty of sage advice. Very, very intuitive. Never met him in person, though. So, Kermit, this one's for you, buddy.
Like Kermit the Frog?
Yeah.
Are you talking the one that goes on like Omega and like shows his cucumber to people?
Yes. And it's called Omegle, first of all, you old. That was disgusting.
Yeah, what did you expect?
The aftertaste isn't bad. I do love how Kermit's open source. And you just see him in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. I'll be honest, it doesn't taste like anything.
Kind of vanilla.
No, vanilla tastes scrumptious. This tastes like a can. Like I'm drinking the can.
Metally.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Maybe you need to pour it into a glass.
I don't think so. Blended whiskey with natural lime flavor and carbonations. It feels like someone put a fan against a lime and sprayed that into a barrel of like distilled water.
So it's a La Croche.
But worse. I guess better. It'll get me drunk.
Yeah, La Croche doesn't do anything for you except it's like spicy water.
7%.
There you go.
It's not bad.
All right. Well, my shout out goes to my oldest son, Jackson. He was the co-lead in their 5th grade chorus performance and did a banging job. Worked really hard, learned his lines, knew what he was doing, and was all in on it, and I was really proud of him. So cheers to you, buddy.
Bingo. I did see the videos. He did a really good job.
I even went to both performances.
He had to do 2.
He actually did 3.
Damn. So you didn't get all.
He did one for like the kindergarten and 1st grade classes, and then they did another one the next day for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. And I went to that one at school because they invited us to. And then we went that night, which was the parents' one.
Oh, that's really sweet. Damn.
So,
do you think your son would ever get into theater?
my wife told him after that he needed to.
What is your thought on that?
Well, so he can't hear me, and by this time I didn't bring it up to him because I didn't want to. He definitely has to quit grabbing his fucking junk while he's on stage. And I'm probably the only one staring at him, and watching it. But yeah, he definitely has a nervous tick of scratching down there when he's up on stage, and did it probably 15 to 20 times.
It's comfort. I get it. I also scratch my junk.
So, if that's what he wants to do, I'll support him on whatever he wants to do.
It's great for the off season.
He doesn't have an off season.
Can't do it then. Sorry. Commitment's already made. But no.
I think it's funny. He's got like plans for his future of like, he wants to go to college and play football in college, but he doesn't want to go to the NFL.
So he already knows. Like, what's his reasoning behind not going to the NFL?
Because that's when he wants to go and get into science. He said he's going to make enough money in college because he's going to be so good, and they pay college athletes now.
Okay.
And that he's going to take his money, get a degree, and then go into, I think he either wants to be a geologist or like a astrophysicist or something like that.
You know who's hiring geologists right now?
oil companies.
The FBI.
Well, he won't be on track for a couple of years still.
You never know. He could still need geologists. Well, maybe he becomes like a xenologist, because the aliens are real. They're in the ocean.
Yeah.
Are they really aliens if they're from our ocean, though?
I don't know. I mean, I think people just want anything.
I mean, I do. It sounds awesome. Fucking aliens? Hell yeah, brother.
Why would they come and just park in the ocean, though?
Maybe that's where they came from. What if we're
Well,
like...
but if that's where they came from, then they're not aliens.
That's why I asked. Are they aliens if they came from the ocean?
Yeah, they're not.
What if we're just like hamsters to them? We're like an
That's
ant.
fucking...
To them, we're an ant colony.
I'm gonna say no because, I mean, like, otherwise they would be up here and like controlling us.
No, you just feed them and watch what they do. You don't interact with an ant colony.
You don't?
No, you put the
You don't
water,
tap the side?
No, you just put the water. Well,
You don't flip it upside down every so often?
Sometimes they do tap the side, and that's when they, shove stuff up our asses. It's tapping the side. The probing, the anal probing.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't believe you.
Oh, it is.
No, I mean, what if that is what it is? Like we're like a science experiment to them. They're just watching.
What if?
That would be really cool.
Well, the really interesting part is like, if you compare like the most advanced chimpanzee, they would equal out to about a toddler.
Yeah.
In human, right?
Yeah.
So most advanced chimpanzee. And there is a 1% difference in the DNA between a chimpanzee and a human.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, I watched Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about it.
Oh, well, I trust him, so that's fair.
I do too. That's why I'm okay with saying this.
If it's Neil deGrasse, like Neil and Elon. Neil and Elon.
Yes. And he's talking about, so there's the 1% difference. So the smartest chimp equals out to one of our toddlers.
Okay.
So now imagine something that's 1% different than us, but 1% smarter. So like us, our smartest, our Neil deGrasse Tysons, our Elon Musks are a toddler to them.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
That'd be fucking crazy.
I mean, if that happened 3 times, the chances of it happening 4, 5, 6, there's always a bigger fish. So
yeah, exactly.
But you know what a chimpanzee can do to a human?
Rip its arms off.
Rip its fucking arms off. As long as we're able to rip off their arms, I think I'll be okay.
That's
if they're like really squishy and fleshy, and like that is something that we can do, I'm cool. Fine with it. Did you mute yourself? Oh, no, you didn't.
We just get fucking hosed, and they're like bigger, stronger, and like 10 times smarter than us.
With like 10-inch dicks that just like swing around.
They just use them to grab us by the throat and fucking
If
hold us and
alien
punch us.
came and grabbed me with his dick, I would kill myself. War's over. That would be so interesting. I love the alien talk. I think it's really cool and really interesting. But like, have you seen all the different like theories on alien life besides the ocean, right? Like that whole clusterfuck. It's like the reason why we've never discovered anyone else in the cosmos yet.
Right.
So it's either like we're the first ones, like we're the most advanced, which is highly unlikely, but it's possible, right? There's something out there that makes everyone else not want to communicate. So like there's something like out in the black abyss that like would kill anything that it finds. Possible too. Or just there's like a filter, and at the top of that filter, you progress technologically. You get there, and then your species goes extinct because that's just the natural cycle of things.
Or what if there's just like a ban on communicating with planets until they reach a certain
That's been talked about.
technological level?
So the guy who wrote Ready Player One
Yep.
wrote a book called Armada. It's really good, and that's the end premise of the book. It's a really good read if you ever get bored. It's all about the 80s, just like fucking Ready Player One is.
How would I ever get bored with reading when I can just keep rereading Red Rising?
You're like a Harry Potter kid right now. I'm just saying, it's a decent read, but it has that in it. Like, what happens? Like, if we get into contact with these beings that are like 10 times greater than we are, what do? Can our egos take it?
Well, but if they're that far advanced, wouldn't that level of advancement equal no war?
Or more war?
Why would it equal more war? I mean, if you're able to, a lot of the reasons that we fight wars are land and food and things like that. If you take away religious wars,
Which is most of them.
well, but if we're that technologically advanced, why do we need to have religious wars anymore? Like, people can just separate.
Because God is real. Duh.
Well, most wars aren't saying that God isn't real.
So you were talking about like land and resources. That doesn't change when it's intergalactic, right? And that's a whole genre of itself too.
But it can.
Land
because
is
if there's
planets instead of continents.
Yeah.
And resources are still resources. Just bigger. It's just bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, we can get into like, oh, it's human nature to fight over those things. It is. It doesn't mean that aliens fight over it because they're not humans.
Well, but if you get to a point where everybody has enough, then there's probably not going to be a need for more fighting.
But how much is enough? Don't we expand infinitely? There's going to be an end.
Well, there's only so much each person would need.
But it's a lot.
Is it?
If you're talking like expansion and like different planets, it's billions, and then that just keeps going. Like, that's the whole nature.
Well, but I'm saying, like, so if people have enough food, they have enough entertainment, and are able to go do what they want, because we've figured out a way to take care of the building, take care of, because we're not that far off from having robots and stuff that'll be able to build a lot of our things.
It'd be pretty cool.
And
well, then you get into the robot uprising, and that's a whole different thing.
Well, but let's say the robots don't uprise. Let's say we keep somebody, but we have to have one guy that works, and his job is just to stand by the kill switch.
I like it.
I think there's a guy there right now.
Probably.
You think there is?
Probably.
I
think there's been too many popular media like stuff.
I bet Elon pays a guy.
If we get compromised, you press this button.
Yep.
Send us back to the Stone Age. Fuck it. But
I bet you there's a guy that's paid.
Probably, but I don't know. It's interesting, but it's weird because, like, I want stuff like this to happen, right? It's like fantasy and it's cool and it's interesting, but like at the same time, I don't at all.
Well, that's the problem with like a lot of things that are going on. I think with our country and things like that is like, I think even if people disagree with things, they've got life so good that it's like, it doesn't make sense to go out and start a war and risk millions of lives.
True.
I think, what did they say? If there's a power outage for like a week, like 50,000 people will die.
Yeah. I usually like the sick and the old, but yeah.
They're still dead.
Yeah.
So
that's actually something we saw a lot EMS wise is like if there were long power outages, we'd have to open up like safe areas for people who need that kind of stuff to live. Or once winter starts, a lot of people who live in not so great places turn on their furnaces for the first time and burn their houses down. That happens a lot too. Sucks, but insurance.
So, it's not really along these lines, but in this country, do you think that we should have poor people?
Define poor.
Homeless. Do you think that if somebody is homeless, it is because of situations, or is it their own fault?
I genuinely think there are people out there that like being homeless.
I agree with you on that.
And want to be homeless.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your prerogative, then as long as you're not hurting me, I don't care. But I think it's both. I think it's situations that lead to homelessness, but then I also think it's a perpetual cycle perpetuated by people sometimes. They just stay in that loop. They don't...
By the individual.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes. Not always.
Agree. I think shit happens. You marry somebody and they turn into a drunk, or, somebody that you relied on financially passes away. Situations like that do happen. But I don't know. There's so much opportunity and so much out there that, like, you see these people that are, like, complaining, everything's too expensive and stuff. And it's like, is everything too expensive, or do you just spend your money on things that you don't need?
Yeah. But
like,
don't get me wrong, things are expensive.
For instance, a cell phone. Like, everybody has a cell phone. And they are generally about $100 a month.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have a cell phone.
Or you don't have to have $100 a month cell phone.
No.
You can go to Best Buy right now and get one for like $25 and pay by the minute. You know what I mean? Get those little cards.
Do you know anybody that doesn't have one, though?
No.
Exactly. And so those little things like that I look at it and I'm like, there's a lot of good jobs. I didn't do anything special, and I don't have a college degree, and there's tons of people like that just went out and just found something, worked hard at it, and you get good enough and you make money. Like you, for instance, with the military, like, anybody could do that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to down talk anybody's position. But I'm saying that you've put in the work. Mm-hmm. You showed up, you've learned, and I don't think that there's anybody that couldn't sign up for the military, get your ass out of bed on time, go in and put in the work, and be successful in the military.
Oh, it's incredibly easy to be successful in the military because you get awarded for meeting the standard. And the standard's like down here.
Yeah.
And
that's, anywhere. Like, it doesn't even have to be just with the military. Like, there's so many jobs where you can start off. My brother's a prime example. He started off 15 years ago delivering for a plumbing company.
Okay.
He did good enough. They had an apprentice position open up. He started becoming a plumber. He did that. He took a test, worked for 10 years as a plumber for this other company, went out and started his own company. Now he's been doing his own company for like 5, 6, maybe even 10 years now.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
And, and he's now got 8, 10 guys underneath him that, his job's changed a lot, but he didn't do anything that was like super special. He just showed up for work every day and learned.
Yeah, he didn't cure cancer or reinvent the wheel.
No. If anything, he got shit to leave your house. That's what he did.
Yeah. Hey, waste management is important.
You want to know the 2 things they teach plumbers?
What?
Paydays on Friday and don't bite your fingernails.
Oh, that's gross. Yeah, but that makes sense.
Oh no, there's 3. Sorry. Paydays on Friday. Shit rolls downhill. Don't bite your fingernails.
Shit does roll downhill.
But
no,
it just
I fully believe like the lowering of the standards for the military just to get in. Granted, not for the Air Force. Standards still pretty high. Everyone wants to be here. But for everyone else, like you get a steady paycheck, you get 3 meals a day, and you get a place to sleep that's safe. All you got to do is go to work. Sometimes you get shot at. Not really anymore, though. So, like, it's fine.
well, yeah, and you do that long enough, save up some money, don't be fucking stupid, and go buy brand new cars and all that kind of shit. But we've just, I don't know, we're such a consumer society.
We are. The cool new thing opens up, and we want it. I mean, I'm guilty of that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was making sure my stream was working because it said it wasn't, but we're good now. Okay. Yeah. No. Like, and I'm guilty of that. I always get the cool new stuff. I have this cool new laptop, and I have my own problems, my own things I spend money on, but I still put away a lot of money, as I should. All my bills are paid.
Well, I mean, do you know how many Americans make it to retirement with enough money in retirement to actually comfortably retire?
I hope it's more than what I'm thinking.
How many do you think?
Like 45%.
What percentage?
45.
I think it's something like 90% don't have enough money at retirement.
That's sad. And see, that's something my dad has always like put forth to me. First was college education, which fine, whatever. But the second was retirement. I have 3 right now that I'm working towards.
Which you're probably better at. You probably have more retirement than I do.
Maybe. I've been doing it since 22. So.
Well, like the companies I worked at before my current position, they didn't offer any kind of retirement. And I wasn't smart enough to do it on my own.
Neither was I. I had guidance, and I was lucky for that.
Yeah. I mean, now I've got a 401k that I'm building up, but I mean, if you start it when you're 20, 21 and you get a job that has it and just keep building it and keep adding to it. And the funny part is it's such a minuscule amount that most of the people, if you start doing it, you'll never miss that money.
That's exactly it. I never knew what it was like without putting in for it.
And then the really cool thing is, like, especially now that I have one, that's somewhat built up, like, there's a lot of relief that goes with it too, because like if something ever does happen, like where you need money, granted, yeah, you got to pay a penalty, but you've got money.
Yeah, it's money you've saved.
Yes.
And then the military, of course, helps with that too.
Well, yeah, you just have to leave on disability like most veterans do.
Well, yeah, the military breaks your body. But no, like the old retirement, they don't offer it anymore, but I'm still in it, is after my time is spent, even in the reserves, at 65 I can collect it. After I've done my time, like my full time, I get my paycheck on what I retired as long as my disability rate is equivalent to it. So I'll always have money. That's my plan.
Yeah.
And that's on top of the TSP that I'm putting into and the 401k.
Yeah. I mean, and there's even jobs like you could go drive a garbage truck every day.
There's nothing wrong with working as a garbage man. Absolutely. No. I don't know why that got a bad rap. There's nothing fucking wrong with that.
There's one thing wrong with it.
What is it?
Them motherfuckers get up so fucking early. There's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I would if I had to. Flights. Like those we're friends with a guy who owns a local company, and he's up at like 3:00 in the morning every morning.
Yep.
And like it would take me a long time to adjust to that.
It takes less time than you think, honestly.
Like I'm the type of person, and of course I had different jobs, so I could, I worked bar and nightlife and stuff like that. So like 3 o'clock in the morning was time for bed, not time to get up.
I mean,
And I would almost be the person that I would rather like work my shift, go home and sleep, and then get up and do stuff for the evening and then go to work at 3. But
honestly,
that'd be really hard with the family too.
that's the big crux of it. Is the family life is that's growing up, right? Like learning how to balance family and hobbies and relationships, friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I don't get why garbage men got such a bad rap. It's unionized. They get paid well. They work hard. You know, they're not being lazy. Like, I've never understood that personally.
And especially now, like with having like around here, they have the trucks that flip the garbage can in. And like I can understand the old days, like they had to go out and grab the can and throw all the bags in. That was a hard fucking job, and that would be hard on your body.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now it's just a lot of walking and dragging stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to say that they have an easy job, but it's definitely a lot easier than what it used to be.
It's been improved upon.
Yes, heavily improved upon.
I agree. Which is good. That's good for them. You know. Fuck. One of my favorite TikTokers is a garbage man.
Oh, the guy that eats lettuce.
Yeah, I love him. And it's more than just
one of his.
It's more than just like the fact that he eats lettuce weird. That was like what caught your attention, right? That was the grab. If you watch his videos enough, like you see his personality, he's just a goofy dude.
Yeah.
He's a fucking in shape, goofy dude. I like him. I think he's funny.
Cool.
Man loves his wife, likes working out, likes working on a garbage truck.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a good life.
yeah, that's the thing. It's a good. He's living a good life, right? Like,
yeah. And I think that's a lot of thing that people just don't think about. Like they don't realize that they can have a good life. Like a good life doesn't mean you have to be a million and billionaire.
you don't have to drive in the Lambo.
You know, I wouldn't even fucking want to.
I wouldn't want one.
They're too fucking small.
Oh.
I would take a Hellcat though.
I'd prefer like to restore a car. Honestly, restoring a Ford Bronco, an old Ford Bronco, that would be fucking dope. But I've always liked the boxy look. It's just, you know, that would be pretty fucking cool. But, you know, it's achievable. Actually,
you don't know anything about cars?
No, not a goddamn thing. I know how to work on my car, but my car is specifically very easy to work on. That's what it was made for.
Man, that's good.
I don't believe you. Like, at all. This, I found out what this tastes like. Oh, All Might. Do you even know who that is?
Not a clue.
You would actually, as far as anime go, that's definitely good for the boys to watch, and he's pretty
That's
inspirational.
how we got it. I'm assuming he's from My Hero Academia.
He is. All of his super punches are named after states. So that's pretty cool. He's very like Americanized Japanese. Like it's good. But he's like the message for the story is really good. The ending kind of sucks, but
So does he give him like a little baby punch and he's like, here's a Rhode Island.
What was the road? There's like the Texas smash is really funny. It's really big. And there's Detroit. Detroit's one.
That's a city, not a state.
I know. There's but yeah, Detroit smash is one.
Does Detroit just kill everybody?
No. So his ultimate move that he uses on one of the big bad guys was the United States of Smash. Punched a motherfucker so hard it made a tornado.
Nice.
God, I love anime. It's goofy. But he's the Master Roshi of that series.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Good show. Just like with every anime, there are like, what's the best way there's big boobies everywhere, and sometimes there's skimpy clothing, but you don't see anything too much. If anything, it's good for
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
exactly. You know a lot about them real quick.
So like for my nephews, I have them, they can watch that, Dragon Ball Z Obvi, and Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is a good one too. That's not inappropriate.
Yeah. That's what my kids watch.
Good. It's good to broaden your horizons too.
Naruto.
Oh, Naruto's fucking amazing, but it's over. So I mean, Like it ended. So
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
I guess so.
Like, the show's ending is not nearly as big of a deal as what it used to be.
Yeah, it's when they do the spin-offs that suck that piss me off.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind a spin-off if they try it, and sometimes they work really good.
And sometimes they're like
Like Young Sheldon was a really good spin-off.
actually, Young Sheldon was a great spin-off, and so is the spin-off to the spin-off.
Exactly.
With Georgie, it's been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty happy with it.
I haven't watched it.
I've seen clips.
But I mean, you find things that work, and you just keep rolling with it.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing I like about oh shit. Oopsie doodle. The thing I like about Georgie is that I like his character.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a dude, like we were talking about, just trying to fucking make it. Like,
yeah,
he's not trying to make millions of dollars. He's just trying to fucking survive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just trying to figure life out.
Yeah, like me. I think that maybe that's why I like it.
I will say one thing that I've seen recently that really bugs me is some people have shown like pictures of like girls and they're 20 and they've got a kid and they're like, she should be in the club.
No.
And I'm like, nobody should be in the fucking club. Like, why are we encouraging people to be in the fucking club?
We shouldn't. I agree with you on that. We should not be doing that.
Like, I can understand, like, I like a good wedding dance, getting a few cocktails in you, taking your shirt off, doing the airplane.
Of course.
Have fun at a wedding. But I don't want to be at a wedding every fucking weekend.
Yeah, I never really understood that. Now, granted, do I like bars? I love going to a bar.
I like a quiet bar.
Yeah, like a dive bar. Like if I can't get chili from a crock pot at the back of the bar, I don't want to be there.
And I don't know if I've ever had that.
I've had that. Or like the pizzas, frozen pizza. You ever have frozen pizza at a bar?
Oh yeah, I've had plenty of frozen pizzas at a bar. You guys got anything to eat? Now I'll make you a Tostino's pizza for fucking $13. Fuck, I'll take 2.
But yeah, like it's fucking perfect. It's perfect. Those are the bars I like. The same bartender's been there since she was in her 20s.
Mm-hmm. Actually, one of the bartenders at the bar the first bar I had a drink at when I turned 21, and we went there pretty regularly. She just passed away like a couple years ago.
Oh,
God, she was a fucking mean lady.
I bet.
Oh, she was fucking like once she got to know us, she was pretty decent with us, but she was not a pleasant person.
I believe it. Hold on. What you got there? Oh, okay. Orion was chewing on something he shouldn't have been. I don't know. I feel places like that. Okay, so great example. The trailer park. The bar I used to always talk about that got closed down. Yep. I loved that. Yep. I love being able to go there, have a couple of drinks, not get hammered or get slammed, talk to people from the community, because it's technically a small town. Say motherfuckers go in there. It was nice. It's like England with pubs. You know what I mean? Like that whole system. I like that. I like being able to go someplace, have a couple drinks, be a little social, and then go the fuck home.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a vet clinic.
I will say England has done a couple of things right.
Yeah. Solid.
Their pub system, and I will say their soccer is fantastic. Like, just the atmosphere going to a game.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, the chants that they have, and they have, like, songs for players. All of that shit is fucking awesome.
That still revolves around pub culture. It all comes from the same...
That and the fucking, what do they call them? The firms that go with their soccer clubs.
Oh, so you're talking about Ted Lasso?
No.
No?
Do you know what a firm is? This is from a movie, so I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but I'm assuming that it is. There's a movie called Green Street Hooligans. 100% recommend. You should go watch it. But essentially, what it is they have these firms which are a part of. They follow a football club or a soccer club, right? Mm-hmm. And so they have a pub and stuff. And when their team plays another team, like let's say West Ham plays Manchester United, their firms meet at some point and fucking fight each other.
Okay.
That's the whole point of it.
It's kind of
like
cool.
They're just like supporters of their soccer club, and if one of the other ones fucking starts shit, they fucking finish it.
It's on Prime.
And the premise for Greens, is it really? Mm-hmm. For rent, though, I'm sure.
No. Do you know there's a second one?
No.
Green Street 2, Stand Your Ground.
I'm sure that's dumb, because... So it's the Green Street Hooligans is basically about this kid who gets kicked out of college and goes over to live with his brother or his sister in England.
Oh my fucking god, that's Frodo.
Yeah, it is. That's what it makes it even better, because he plays like a Frodo type character where he's kind of a little bitch and like a writer, and then he goes over and lives with his sister, and her sister is married, and her husband's little brother is part of the firm for their soccer club, and he starts hanging out with them and kind of gets engulfed into the culture.
The second movie is about them in prison.
That would make sense.
Okay.
That would make sense.
See, the thing about fighting over there, at least, what I've gathered from like TikTok and Reddit and stuff, is they don't fight to like kill somebody for the most
mm-hmm.
part. They just beat them up and they go about their day. Like, all right.
Yes, it's more of a gentleman type thing. Like somebody goes down, you're not going to go jump on top and start fucking kicking somebody in the face, and vice versa. If you fight somebody and they put you down, the next time you see them, you're not going to walk up and fucking smash a bottle on the back of their head.
Yeah, it's all front to front, very honorable, I guess.
Yes.
Which is how fighting kind of used to be in the States, and then it just has not been like that for a while. Like,
no.
I would not want to get in a fight on the street here.
No.
It's at that point, like if I'm fighting somebody, it is for survival, and it sucks that's
mm-hmm.
what that's like, but it's true.
Yeah.
Actually, that really doesn't happen in this state. If there's a fight, usually someone has a gun, and that's typically the next escalation for that. So,
which is really a shame that people feel the need to do that.
There's something to be said about having a good fight, a good scrap.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that need to get their fucking ass kicked every so often. I'm one of them.
I do have to be put in my place. Just like when we went camping, I'm just sitting in my chair, minding my fucking business, and this
that was just asserting dominance.
200-pound fucking bear of a man just comes barreling into me, breaking my glasses.
Well, glasses I did not mean to do.
I know,
but
there was no. That's why, like, I didn't feel. What was super scary is I didn't feel any aggression from you. Like, I didn't feel like I was afraid or that I was going to get hurt. It was just like, here he comes.
I was just having fun.
Just fall with it. You didn't have to assert dominance, Matt. You're older than me. Like,
that was one of the. I will say, I have experienced that a little in the U.S. Very small amount, but when I played rugby,
oh, that's different.
That's how the guys were. Like, you would be out on the pitch, and you would be going hard at it. Like, I saw dudes fucking throwing punches, fucking pissed off. Game gets over, coolers of beers come out, everybody's friends.
Yeah, that's different. Just like hockey and fighting in hockey.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. And that's just dudes being dudes, too. Like, you got to get it out. You have to.
Oh, I agree.
I've actually been watching a lot of stuff about aggression and like raising boys. Obviously I don't have any kids, but like I see I'm I wouldn't say a parental figure for my nephews, but like I am a person that is constantly in their life, a man that's constantly in
You're
their
a
life.
uncle.
Yeah, not really fun. I'll be honest with you.
Oh,
I'm kind of strict.
that's too bad. You should be.
Yeah, well,
You should be the one fucking pushing the limits, not fucking setting them.
So with them, I'm really rough with them because they're boys, right? That's just how you are.
Mm-hmm.
And my girlfriend is very like nice and sweet and nurturing to them. And someone snapped at me for being so rough with them, and it wasn't her. And she snapped at them saying, "No, he needs to do that. Like that's something that they need." And my brother's very rough with his sons. He doesn't cause them harm, but he's rough with them.
No.
And so that was just a really cool moment. It was like an eye-opening moment for me. Like, because it's just natural, right? Like, just how you are. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, and that's how boys learn to become men. Like my youngest will just walk up and fucking sock me in the gut sometimes, just out of nowhere.
He's done that to me.
He's just a dick about it sometimes, but it's fucking funny shit too.
It's so funny. It is so funny.
He recently has started jump scaring his brother, and his brother fucking hates it, and he loves it because of how much his brother hates it.
Yeah.
So he'll like tonight we were getting ready and he took a shower and we were getting ready for bed and stuff, and he called his brother into the other room. We were in the living room and went and hid in the kitchen. So he had to walk past the kitchen and jump scared the fuck out of him and is just cackling.
He's going to get hit.
He is, which is fine.
I mean, yeah, that's part of the learning process.
Exactly. Like,
I remember doing stuff like that. My brothers tortured me as a little kid.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you what they did with the airsoft guns?
No.
So my dad, I was maybe 12, so they were like 14 and 15. And my dad had just gotten back from Afghanistan, and he brought a bunch of those scarves with him, right? The Afghani scarves. I actually have a few of them still. They're fucking great. Great scarves. I love them. Great for head wraps and like covering your face when it's like dusty out. Awesome. I think that's what they're technically.
Yeah, when you need to go to the liquor store.
Yeah. And so it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm passed out in my room, and they come bursting into my room, fully covered in the scarves, yelling "Maha Ajiyalad, Durka Durka," and just shooting me with the pellet guns, just lighting my ass up. Huh? They would pick, because there's two of them, right? I could usually fight back one of them, but I could never beat both of them. So they would stuff me in those Rubbermaid containers and push me down hills. They would tie me to chairs and leave me in places and build character. That's what it did.
It did.
Yeah.
It made your boot camp seem easy when you went to the Navy or in the Air Force, right?
Boot camp was a fucking breeze, anyways. It's the easy boot camp was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life.
Well, that was because of all the torture you had already sustained.
It did make SEER easier, absolutely. That made it easier. But like, dude, basic training, all you have to do is whatever the fuck they tell you to. You don't have to think about anything.
So Forrest Gump was right.
Yes. It's really nice. They tell you when to wake up, when you can take a shit, when you can shower, like everything. Everything. You have no autonomy. And I was totally cool with it. Like it did not bother me at all. And then like you had to study, right? The Air Force history and like all this stuff. I knew all that shit because of my dad, because he's a fucking nerd. So like,
just because your dad knew it doesn't mean that it's given that you would know it.
No,
like you were a nerd too.
He pushed it on us.
But you were a nerd too.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But
like a lot of people just would be like, the fuck are you talking about? Like if I did that kind of stuff with my youngest, he would be like, if I did it with my oldest, he would recite word for word what I had just said.
Well, there you go. I liked it. I always liked the military. Just I was stubborn because I was a teenager about joining at first.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was boot camp. Basic training was probably the easiest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life because I didn't have to think about anything. The only part that sucked is that you couldn't see a pair of tits.
And you had to run a lot.
Yeah, but I was in sports in high school. Like that was part of my.
I was in sports in high school too, and it still fucking sucks running.
I was in cross country and soccer, so by the time I went to boot camp, like that, running a mile and a half because it's Air Force boot camp. It's not like Army or Marines, like where you have to run a fuck ton. You just have to run the mile and a half. That's like nothing. That's 9 minutes of running a day. That's fucking nothing.
That's a good pace.
Yeah, it's not that anymore.
Is it more or less?
It's more. It's like I'm at 11:30 right now. Still pretty good.
Yeah, you've just graduated because you're older now, so they have to push the time back so that because otherwise you couldn't make it because you know.
Oh no, that's just
old.
what my time was. I think to pass you need 13.
Oh,
I've never gotten close to that. It's very easy to not have that happen. Just run once a month, so your body remembers how to do it, and you're fine.
I don't think I could do it.
I think you could. You just need time.
Yeah, well, that and my knee would fucking kill me.
Well, you're old and broken, so that's
I am broken.
They have waivers for that.
I know, that's how I only got one recruiting call.
Yeah.
But
no, like that was granted the other training was a lot harder, a lot more intense, a lot of thinking, right? Then they teach you how to they really break you down and then they build you back up from scratch. And I can 100% say I'm a different person from before I went in.
yeah, oh yeah, I bet.
And a better person. 100% a better person.
Mm-hmm. Teaches you discipline.
Discipline, like just good habits. Am I still messy? Yes. But I'm not dirty. Used to be really dirty. Not showering and stuff. Like I think I was really going down the wrong path beforehand. So
Yeah.
I'll take what Uncle Sam has to. Some people need it. I needed it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you probably would have found it elsewhere had you not gotten it there.
Probably.
Maybe not the discipline or, you know, but you would have figured something out.
Yeah, of course, but still, like, hey, it was definitely still, I think, the best decision I ever made. And I only did it I only took the light version. I'm during the reserves. I didn't even go the full beans. I think my life would have been way easier if I did full beans.
Aren't you kind of full beans now, though?
I am, but that's still different because I went full beans when I already had rank and like knowledge and experience. So
yeah, you were a bitch.
Yeah, it's funny. I got an office now, which my boss, he's a few ranks higher than me and he's older than me. And my office was our old chief's office, right? So that's where Chief used to sit. He's gone now. We have a better office for the new chief. So I took his old office. Every time he passes by my office, he's like, "Oh, good morning, Chief." Just giving me shit every chance he gets. And
What is your rank?
Staff sergeant.
Yeah, that's way too much to say.
And I mean, it is.
So what's your next rank up for, like, what's your next rank up?
Technical sergeant.
Okay, what's after that?
Master.
What's the next one that's not sergeant?
They're all chief, the last one.
And how long till you can get to chief?
Like 10 more years if at like the earliest.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Chief is end career. Like very few people make it.
Okay.
Because you can retire. You can be, I think, a staff and retire at 20 years. Like, if you are, you're kind of a dirtbag, but,
And that's your current rank?
Yes. And I promote next month.
To technical sergeant.
Technical sergeant. Yes.
What's the difference between a staff sergeant and a technical sergeant, other than the name and pay?
So the amount of responsibility, this is, like, I have a few airmen that I lead, right? And I lead a section. Technical sergeant, now you're like more of a chief of flights. So several airmen, like a lot more programs you have to oversee. It's just more and more leadership until you get to the point where you're running like squadrons, wings, and groups.
Gotcha. When do you get a sergeant underneath you?
The next rank.
Technical sergeant?
Mm-hmm.
So then you'll have your own staff sergeant.
Yep. I have my own airmen now, but yeah.
Well, I get that, but you'll have your own staff sergeant who will have airmen underneath them
Correct.
at that point.
Yes.
So at some point, somebody's going to be bitching and being like, my fucking boss's boss is such a fucking D-bag.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I'm I'm pretty fucking mean.
I don't believe that.
It's my like threshold for excuses is not very high.
Well, yeah, that it shouldn't be. That's not mean.
I guess that's fair. I don't know. Like I've been told I'm unapproachable.
Is like fucking walking in and don't stand up, and so you fucking just start ripping into them, or you see fucking they drop something.
Oh, I tell them not to stand up because technically, like, especially if I'm like getting after an airman, they're supposed to like go to pray rest, right? Like it's like a whole thing. But I'm like, don't fucking do that, or they'll call me like they're doing the right thing, right? They're using the customs and courtesies. They're doing the right thing, and I'm like, hey, look, I get it, but it's also the career field. And being a flyer, like when you're in the air, especially, a lot of the customs and courtesies kind of go out the window. It's different. It's hard to explain. And then being medical too, like that's totally different. My career path, how I interact with officers and NCOs is completely different from like my brother-in-law, Jack, and he's in the Army. That's a whole different. I would not survive a day in the Army with the way I act. They would fucking smoke the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective, and I don't know, like, it's awesome. I fucking love it. But I like being able to sit down a young kid. I mean, I can say that he's like 19 and be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I'm not tearing into him like his fucking dad, because I'm not his dad. But be like, hey, here's where you're fucking up. Here's the plan I have for you to not fuck up. You can change it as you need to, but stop fucking up. And that's my leadership style. Like, just not being your friend, just not treating you like an asshole. Or trying not to. I don't know.
All right. We got a couple minutes left.
Oh, yes! I'm so stoked. I think it's 4 from the back, by the way.
You want me to do 4 from the back? Would that make you feel better?
1, 2, 3, 4, and then you push them to the front, I think. Oh, my favorite Ghost Hunters came out with a new video. How to open Pokemon cards.
Well, but each one's different, though, too. Okay, well, I did 4, so...
All right.
Ready?
Yep. Okay, that looks promising, because that means...
Water energy.
Bronzong. Good one. I liked him. I don't know who that is.
You know, surprisingly, the other trainer that I got was worth like $2, so...
Porygon 2. Like it. Oddish. Classic. Love a good Vileplume. Hate that you need a Grass Stone. Oh, the new Growlithe. The fuzzy Growlithe.
The early U.S. President Growlithe.
Yes. The George one.
Looks like he's got a white wig.
Oh, lesbian's favorite Pokemon. His attack is Drool. Slugma, close to Ligma. Clefairies. Oh. Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
Stunfisk sucks.
Oh, there's one more.
Oh. Gliscor. Gliscor's pretty cool.
But this is the shiny.
The Gliscor. Well, it's not a shiny. Hold on. You don't know what.
Oh yeah, there's.
You don't know what that word means.
Yeah. No, I don't.
He knows not what he does, everybody. Yeah. There's just something that scratches an itch for. I'm going to start buying packs.
You should. I have way too many, though. Like, I'm scared to know how many my kids have and have lost.
Oh, like good cards?
They're pretty good with the good cards, but just cards in general. Because I think I have almost like 900.
That's a fucking ton.
Yeah.
Also, just because a card's worth something doesn't mean someone is going to buy it. And if you really want it to be worth something, you got to send it off to be graded. That's like a whole thing too.
Oh yeah, I know. I've done my research on it. I know how it all works.
How much was the most expensive card ever bought for?
Like 1.5 million?
5 million.
5 million?
Logan Paul. All right. Oh, I think we did it wrong because that's a hollow. Noibat. I like it. Wait, are they all hollows?
Did I get like a super pack?
A God pack is what it's called. You did not.
Just counted them wrong?
6 Cyclozar is a lame card. Yeah, I don't think we did it right.
No.
Basic energy. Mime Jr. Another Noibat. A regular Noibat. Well, actually, one of my favorite Pokemon. Chimecho. Okay. Ghastly. Figured he's your favorite because of the farts. Backpack. I forgot what that one's called, but it's the punchy octopus. There's another one.
Grapplecot?
Yeah.
Grapple locked?
That's after my time. And I don't know who that is either.
Lono?
Yeah, you did it wrong. Well, I mean, you got some. No big.
I got the cards from a pack. That's as much as I know. Luckily, there's a app on your phone that you can scan them and tells you what they've sold for recently, and
That's kind of cool.
that's how I know how many cards I have, because I scan them all and then I just put them away.
Where do you put them?
I have a box,
No, okay.
like a card box that's like long and white, and it just so
All right. Well,
yeah.
sweetness.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the Sammy's a Beer podcast. It was another fantastic Wednesday with some good conversations, talking about aliens, talking about the military, talking about people not being lazy and they could fucking live the American dream if they want to, even as a garbage man. So, we appreciate y'all so much for stopping by. Thomas, take it away.
Don't buy this. It tastes like cardboard with a little bit of lime juice squirted on it. Figured out the flavor. That's exactly what it is. Have a good night, everybody.